Hello, ladies. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? We are live for day 3 on today's mini training. I'm kind of juggling multiple screens here, so hang with me today. But anyways, you guys, oh my gosh, I am so excited. And I just want to welcome you all back to episode 3 of the Cashflow Codes mini series. It's called Scaling Beyond Six Figures Without All the Burnout and Without the Hustle and the Overwhelm, right? So if you're here live with me today, say, hey girl, hey in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if this is the first of the training videos you've been catching this week, or if this is the third, the second. Just let me know, right? Let me know how many videos you've been watching this week when it comes to this particular training. This is video 3. So if you've been with me all week, awesome. If not, you can always play catch up and go binge watch some of the previous episodes. They are live for the next 30 days on my LinkedIn account, on my YouTube channel, which is Alpha Queen Collective, and of course on Facebook, on my normal Facebook page. So yeah, if you've missed any of video 1, video 2, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love it, I need to go back and watch some of this, that's where you'll know you'll need to find it. All right. So yesterday's episode 2, we talked about a powerful decision-making process, right? And how when we can start to make aligned decisions, we can start to collapse timelines. And if you missed that one, you're going to definitely want to go back and watch it. Because if you're like, I don't know why it takes me forever to do things, and like I just sit on the fence and there's so much fear around decisions, and then that's definitely going to be a really great video for you to go back and watch. But today we're diving into the second wake-up call. Okay, the second wake-up call, which is all about discipline. All right. So to talk about discipline, I actually want to take you back to 2011. So me and my family, we had just moved back from Germany. Okay. We were heading to Nebraska. We chose Nebraska because my family was there, but also because I knew I had like a secure job with my mom, right? She was waiting for me. I mean, if you watched yesterday's video, you knew I grew up, in the back of my mom's bridal shop, my mom and dad's bridal shop. Like, this is just what I was destined to do. Right. And the plan was always to go back and work alongside my mom. And I was fully content with learning the family business and eventually taking it over. Right. Yay. Yay for me. My life plan was completely laid out for me. Right. But 2 days after landing in the States, my mom passed away. That glorious life plan of mine, it all went to shit. Until one day, I was in the basement and I was going through all of her stuff, sorting all of her paperwork, just like the good little PR that I was. And I came across this little black leather-bound journal. And inside the journal, it was a bunch of green paper, lines, numbers. And when I was like looking through all of her papers, guys, I didn't realize what I was really looking at until it just kind of hit me. I was like, wow, I'm looking at my mom's pretty much old school type P&L, right? Expenses, their budgets, like everything, right? I was looking at it all. Well, for the last 3 months, while I was sorting out through my mom's stuff and selling things and, just preparing and getting her house ready to sell, I just kept thinking, I kept replaying this story in my head of like, well, now what am I going to do? Right. I don't know how to do anything else. The plan was always to come back and work with my mom. Like, what am I going to do? Right. Like, it was just kind of like spinning out of control for 2 or 3 months. I mean, again, the whole plan, the reason why we chose to go back to Nebraska was because that was part of the plan. So I had this constant story playing out in my head around, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Right. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for money. Right. My husband's active duty military. How am I supposed to, I really was excited to come back and be able to support, financially as well, and kind of get back into that groove of things. And yeah, my entire life plan went to shit. Right. So there I was in that basement. And when I realized that I was looking at her P&L, I realized right there in that moment that I needed to start my own business, right? I got a message. It was almost like a beautiful divine download from my mom that said, Carissa, you don't need my company to be great. You get to go start whatever company you want to start. And right there, I had such clarity, right? That at the age of 26 years old, I said, screw it. I'm starting my own shop, right? And I took every part about what my mom did as the bridal. She did bridals, she did tuxedos, she did invitations, she did stationery, she did florals, right? Like I literally grew up in the back of a flower shop, watching my dad design, watching her work the front rooms. And it was crazy to see that. But I was like, okay, Chris, if you're going to start your own business, like what do you want to start? Right. Like, I mean, I really honestly thought I'd be inheriting her business, but when something tragic happens, not all of the siblings get along. Therefore, we did have to sell her business. And so, yeah, I kind of felt like I was starting from scratch. And I was like, if I have to start from scratch, then I'm going to build the business that, I want and I want to do. And I pretty much removed everything that had to do with the brides out of the way. I didn't do the gowns. I only did florals for special events, massive occasions. But what I predominantly did was suits, right? Suits and tuxedos. I was like, wow, okay, that is the easiest business that I can start right now. And with nothing but like an idea in my head, guys, I went out and created my very first business at 26 years old. Okay. And this was just the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. So the entrepreneurs I am finding, 10 years later, 12 years later, the entrepreneurs that I'm finding that are very, very successful, they're not necessarily the smartest entrepreneurs in the room. They're not the ones with the fanciest websites. The most successful entrepreneurs that I'm seeing when I study successful entrepreneurs, right, is I see that they are disciplined. Okay. And I want to talk about discipline here for a little bit because I think it's a huge problem with entrepreneurs today. Right. And if they are not disciplined, they're going to take a very long road to business. And what I mean by that is an entrepreneur who is not disciplined is taking the classical approach to success. Right. They're going to get there more than likely as long as they got that grit and their willingness, to like show up and do the thing. But when it comes to, getting to where you want to go faster, what we call the quantum approach, it does require discipline. Okay. So really quickly, classical approach versus quantum approach. Well, classical approach is taking longer to achieve something that you've been called to do. Okay. The quantum approach is about creating the disciplines needed in life and business so that things can become more automatic for you, that you can literally, again, shrink the timelines. You can excel, you can experience what the average person takes years to do. You can experience in maybe a year, 7 months, a month, whatever, right? Because we all know that discipline is the key to success. So there's a little discipline equation that I like to tell my clients that I work with. It's a simple equation. Discipline equals consistency. Consistency equals consistent cash flow. Okay. So today I want to talk about disciplines. And as I'm sharing many different types of disciplines with you, I want you to just kind of reflect back and start to think, where do I need to create a little bit more discipline in my life so that I can quantum leap ahead? All right. So let's just start off with health, right? That's the foundation of everything that you see here today, right? I already told you in mini training number 1 about my incredible health journey. Actually, I think that was yesterday's. I told you about how I lost close to 100 pounds, how I was 213 pounds and stressed and depressed and, drinking bottles of wine at night and smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Like I was completely undisciplined when it came to my health about 12 years ago. Well, I hit this rock bottom moment, which actually sprung-booted me into the most amazing life that I have today. So let's just talk about disciplines when it comes to our health. Okay. So when I think body disciplines, these are the healthy habits that keep me healthy, confident, and energized. And we all know that confidence and energy are like the keys to sales. They're the keys to speaking on stages, right? Like you can have a really great story, but if you don't have the confidence to get up and tell it, if you don't have the energy on stage and you're like, wah, 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 you're so boring to listen to, nobody's going to like feed into that energy, right? Energy and confidence are huge. Well, energy and confidence are a byproduct of being healthy, in my opinion. So some daily disciplines that I am consistently doing every single day is, of course, daily fitness. Me and my husband, we get up at 3:45. We're at the gym by 4:15. We are in the gym 60 to 90 minutes, depending on what our workout is for the day, every day of the week. Discipline, right? Not every day do I want to do it, but dang it, we get up and we do it. right? Because we know we're going to feel better afterwards. We know that our health is a priority. It's something we both value. And I know that it's going to give me the confidence and energy that I need for the rest of the day. Okay. So that's just one of the disciplines. I mean, guys, if you've been following me for any length of time, every Sunday we meal prep, which means every Friday we buy our groceries. Every Saturday we kind of get, meat marinating. And then on Sunday we prep. It's a whole system, right? But it's a very easy system. We break things down into very simple, steps so that we can get the job done. If you know me, I am always in bed by a certain time. Like by 8 o'clock, I'm like, and good night, right? Like I guess when you get up at 3:45, you tend to go to bed a little earlier because otherwise I'd be exhausted, and I just don't function well when I don't have sleep. So sleep is a daily discipline. Getting to bed on time is part of creating that energetic CEO self. Okay. And then of course there's those daily self-care activities. I'm not just talking fitness. Sure. Some of you are going to think that's a self-care activity. That to me is a non-negotiable. Self-care is something like midday breath work, midday walks, weekly or monthly massages, things that take the stress of being an entrepreneur down a notch, because we are so busy as CEOs of companies. I mean, we are, quite honestly, sometimes we're the head coach, we're the visionary, we're the leader, we're the one that everyone comes when they need a decision made. And we need to be able to take down the stress levels so that we can think clearly. So those are just some of the health or the body disciplines that when I'm talking about, right, we have to make sure that we are taking care of our bodies. If not, I see this happen all the time with my clients, right? They go, they create all these amazing disciplines in their business, but they put themselves on the back burner. And then what happens is that they're like 36, 40 years old and their body is literally shutting down on them. In fact, this happens so often that I've now called it like the midlife body breakdown, literally, when like women are like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't think, I can't sleep. I'm gaining all this weight, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, let's look at your stress levels, right? Let's look at how you're taking care of your health, because that's huge. Okay. Yeah. So your health is currency, right? Your health is a non-negotiable if you are a high-powered CEO. Okay. All right, cool. Let's talk about mindset disciplines here for a minute. The mindset disciplines that I'm talking about is the little micro habits that I do throughout the day that help program my mindset for success. Okay. So every morning I start my workday with what I call my spiritual alignment hour, where I'm doing EFT, I'm doing meditation, hypnotherapy, I'm journaling, I'm writing. I am stepping into the identity that is required in order for me to run the company that I'm running, right? Every night I do what we call a power down hour, and I go to sleep to hypnotherapy. I meditate, right? I do all of these types of things, guys, because I know that my mindset is the biggest key to all success. Okay. So that is pillar one of the entire $1 Million Sales Matrix, is you've got to get your mindset right. You've got to step into an identity that's, that serves you. You've got to have tons and tons of energy. Okay. So those are just some of the mindset disciplines that that I'm disciplined with. Right. So now let's talk, let's move into business disciplines. Like, why not? Right. Because that is where most of us spend our time, 8 to 9 hours. I mean, I spend about 7 hours a day, doing the thing that lights my soul on fire. So let's talk business disciplines. These are habits. If you guys not have picked it up yet, these disciplines are like micro habits. Okay. These are habits that when you do consistently, we get cash flow, or when you do your health consistently, right, you feel energized. When you program your mindset for success consistently, you start to believe it faster. And then we're just literally, working with amazing clients, and we're just getting what we want because our brain is programmed for success. So disciplines is little micro habits. So when I talk business disciplines, I'm talking about setting working hours, setting boundaries with your clients, working your marketing plan, not letting other people's marketing plans suck you down their funnels and their courses and all of that. Following the triple D rule, right, which is do, delegate, and delete. Other disciplines is like my sales power hour. It's reaching out to people. It's connecting. It's, having conversations on a daily basis. Like these are the disciplines that I'm talking about, you guys. Like if we want a certain level of success at the end of the month, whether it's cash flow or lives impacted, we've got to do the day-to-day tasks. in our business, right? We cannot say we want $10,000 months and then not be willing to work for it. And you can't get to $10,000 or $20,000 or $100,000 months if you are inconsistent with the things every single day, right? If you never make your post, but maybe once a month, no one's going to really know what you really stand for. If you told your audience you're going to send out an email every day and then you don't, you've lost all their trust, right? And so you're just like, you have to make sure that what is important to you, right, at the end of the month is a reflection, right? What you do throughout the month is a reflection of what you get at the end of the month. Let me say it that way. So if you want something, right, if we want X and we're here at A, we have to be willing to do the steps in order to get there, okay? So business disciplines, okay? Let's talk about love disciplines, because I am a woman who believes that we can have it all in life, the love life, the body, the health, the wealth, the business, all of it, right? So love disciplines. This looks like weekly date nights with my husband. It looks like weekly lunches with my husband, right? Every Friday we go to lunch together. Every Saturday we go on a date night. It looks like dinners around the table, right? That's a love discipline. Like, my relationship is important to me. And a lot of women, we know our relationships are important to us, whether it's our husband or our kids or our partners. But a lot of us like literally blur the boundary of work, right? And we're not present. And so we make sure that when we are having dinner, we are around the dinner table. We are talking about our hell yes wins for the day. We're talking about how our day was, right? We're not just sitting there on our phones answering emails and, multitasking and not really being present with each other. Another love discipline is, we take vacations and culture exchanges. That's something that's really important to my husband and I, where we're like, we love experiencing life in other countries. We love experiencing food. We love walking, certain streets and really getting culture exchanges. Like, that's something important to us. So we always make sure that that is on the calendar. It's on the books. And then of course there's those fun and freedom projects, things that really light your soul on fire. Okay. So these are just disciplines. Not everything is a daily discipline, but there are daily, weekly, hourly, right? Like, everything is a discipline that we do. So I'm curious, I want you to just comment below, which of these areas of discipline do you need to strengthen the most right now? Body, mind, business, or your love life, right? And I'll even let you sneak in social, right? Because a lot of us are like isolated island entrepreneurs and we don't have a big social life. So maybe you need to work on your social life too. But just understand and self-reflect, like, if I want to bring in consistent income for myself and I want to do it without burnout, where do I need to be more disciplined with my health, with my mindset, with my business, and with my relationships? Where do I need to be disciplined? Okay. Discipline creates consistency, which equals the freedom that we all said yes to. Being an entrepreneur is not the easiest thing, right? But when you're disciplined, it sure as shit makes being an entrepreneur a bit easier. When you master discipline, you create consistency, and consistency is the only path to predictable sales. All right. So this is why so many six-figure entrepreneurs feel very stuck. They're consistently starting and stopping, hustling 1 month and then crashing the next. Discipline, guys, is what breaks that cycle. Okay. All right. So that's a wake-up call number 3. All right. Tomorrow. No, I'm so sorry. That is wake-up call number 2. This is video number 3. Tomorrow, we're going to be diving into wake-up call number 3, which is determination. So if the itty-bitty shitty committee inside your head that says you're not enough, or you can't charge that much, or who do you think you are, or you're not smart enough, you're not young enough, you're not old enough. If you have a problem with starting and stopping and staying motivated, as well as quieting that inner voice inside your head, tomorrow is going to be a game changer for you, because wake up call number 3 is all around determination and creating an all-in mentality. This one's going to be fire for you. Okay. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, because I'm going to share how my business exploded from 10K days to 176K weeks when I created this mentality of going all in. All right. So if you are ready to create consistency in your business, you need to create some discipline. If you need some discipline support, let's talk. right? I want to encourage you to book a call, a 15-minute audit call with me. And I'm going to show you exactly where you're leaving at least $100,000 of revenue on the table and how to lock in consistency, because consistency and discipline, guys, it's a mindset thing. It's not a, like every freaking client I work with, I literally give them a step-by-step plan, a blueprint of like, this is how you're going to make your next $100,000. Why don't they do it? They don't have the discipline, right? So then I have to go in and help them build this mindset of a disciplined entrepreneur, a disciplined CEO. Every CEO knows that they have to be disciplined. Okay. Every successful one knows that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was mini series episode 3. I will see you tomorrow for episode 4, determination and how you can create a go all in mindset. All right. I will see you soon. Bye for now, guys.